Risk of Rain 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I've made countless, just countless videos. You couldn't even count them if you tried on its characters. I've logged hundreds of hours into its addicting gameplay loop, and I love it to death. But easily, my favorite part about the entire game is its soundtrack. There are many great game composers, I've made a list of them here, but I don't think any of them will go in the Musical Hall of Fame quite like Chris Christodoulou. So you have to understand that I mean this in the deepest, most loving way, that I'm now going to objectively rank them from worst to best. We're starting down here at B tier, because I don't think we're going to go any lower than that. And then up here is the GOATs, okay? This ain't an S tier, we already got 2 of those. This is for those special songs that will be remembered throughout time, the absolute peak, okay? Okay. Okay, so this first song here is called Through a Cloud Darkly. This is the intro cutscene theme that plays when you first launch the game. I think I've heard it about 1,000,000 times. I think this is about right when I'd press skip intro. And there it sets up the Risk of Rain motif that was introduced in the first game and plays throughout the entire album like 1,000 times. And some very Metroid Prime type sound effects here. And it's just trying to go for that mystery space vibe, right? The music isn't really the main attraction. It's more setting up the plot. It's the shortest song in the album. It's kind of just taking a back seat, letting the Risk of Rain motif set in so that you can recognize it for future songs, and then, you know, all of a sudden that synth in the back comes a driving force. It starts getting heavier and heavier, and the cutscene gets more intense, right, with Commando sitting there, and it starts getting really distorted, and then it fades out and cuts off. Solid first track. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here, alright? Through a Cloud Darkly is going in B tier. Solid track. Okay, and this one is Risk of Rain 2. So this is the main menu theme. It starts us in 6/8 actually, which usually, which is very different from the rest of the album, and usually, you know, a song would start something simple and then kind of expand on it with different, you know, wacky time signatures. But this is kind of one of the more different songs in this track. I can't think of many that are in 6/8, but it's very strong. That lead synth is so strong. Going down with the arpeggios as it keeps you on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that drop is just so good. Oh, I love this track. Those little offbeat blips that kind of get like a polyrhythm thing going on. And Chris never wants to keep you in a lull, okay? He always just keeps you on your toes. Ba-dum. It's the Risk of Rain motif. It's just, he uses it 1,000 different ways. But I think just the most satisfying thing on a re-listen is just these arpeggios that just go down and up throughout the whole song, just over and over again. It's so good. And it's with that just juicy drop. It's so... it just kind of hits the brain chemistry the right way. Now we get really sci-fi. Now taking it calm. And then we get that backing guitar to harmonize with the synth. And then we hit it with that drop. Just got all these different pieces, the layers. And then that huge hit. God, something that shows up in this album so much is that Chris really knows how to make the most of a note. He just gets so much out of it. And the drums just come in. A little variation on the Risk of Rain motif. fall down. Kind of think it's settling. And then take a low. And then it kind of builds back up. The sleigh bells in the background. And then one last hit. And that is, you know, the Risk of Rain motif, right? But it's also moisture deficit from Risk of Rain 1. It's the best part of moisture deficit that I just go back and listen to, and it's one of the best things about that entire album. Oh, just such a fantastic ending. You know, I might feel like we're kind of blowing it a little early here, but Risk of Rain 2 is absolutely one of the strongest tracks in this entire game. S+. S+ for Risk of Rain 2. Okay, and this next one is Evapotranspiration. So this plays on Distant Roost. And even though this one's in 4/4, Chris never makes a normal sounding song, alright? It's always a little weird. Kind of establishes that these are going to be moody tracks, that low synth. I don't even know what sound. Like, Chris is a sound artist, right? He's not just a composer, he's a sound designer, and he just puts in these fuck-ass wacky sounds in all the songs. They're bizarre, and I love them. The songs wouldn't be the same without them. Okay, a bit of a key change, right? Bringing in the same synth with those weird sci-fi slide whistles. Just a little bit of guitar in the back, right? For a little bit of flavor. And this part is really cool. Anyone else get C418 vibes from this? I feel like this could be Volume Alpha. Like this little gentle synths in the background. And then this is where it starts getting really something, right? Drums come back in. And then you drop and get these fucking evil ass drums from hell. Oh my god. Just turns into this angry song. It goes from moody to like offended. Have those more C418 synths in the background to finish this off. Very solid track of Evapotranspiration. Again, really love those drums at the end there. Just super angry. I'm thinking a solid A tier for Evapotranspiration. Great track. But next up, we have Thermodynamic Equilibrium. So this is the first, and I think probably most iconic teleporter theme. We got it in 5/4. And there's that iconic little riff, the bum 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 ba that we hear. Whenever I think teleporter theme, I think of that riff. Getting those weird glitchy sounds. Into this very iconic Risk of Rain 2 kind of synth. You can just hear the Beetle Queens and Stone Golems with this one. You have the like clapping sound effect in the back. And then you hear very faintly like that distinct airy kind of guitar kind of sound, but it gets brought out a bit later. And then we take it down, just a little synth in the back, and then it suddenly becomes that guitar again. And really, it's a stark contrast to that very sci-fi synth. It's kind of bouncing between both headphones. It's got a great groove. Now the claps are going on the downbeats. God, the guitar is so good. Start getting really jammy here at the end, right? Getting to the end of the boss fight. A little down in the depths. I couldn't even tell you what the sound effects were. It just leaves us a little bit of guitar play. Before one last riff, it tells us that, hey, the teleporter's done. Very solid track for Thermodynamic Equilibrium. Thinking another A tier. Like it a little more than Evapotranspiration. Okay, and up next we have Terra Pluviam. So this is the track that plays on Abandoned Aqueduct and Abyssal Depths. It does a very good job of sounding earthy with, you know, that low bass contrasting with the wind chimes. They're probably bells, but it sounds like wind chimes, and Risk of Rain 2, you know, just use it a lot throughout its entire extended soundtrack. Kind of stalling, keeping you just a little offbeat. The synth comes in, it's giving us a little texture. This song in particular just really gives me an isolation vibe that the whole album, you know, does, but it's just something about this one. Just a little bit of guitar, right? Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Risk of Rain motif, one of 1,000. It's just proof, though, it can be fitting anywhere. It's a good motif. The low earthy bass is all we're really left with right now. It's just, oh, so groovy. The drop. That roaring guitar. And breaking meter just really adds something to the song, you know? It just hits you kind of right. I mean, it's a fantastic solo. And then, I love how he puts in all those reverberating, reverse sound effects. He's so good at putting in effects that really emphasize something that's supposed to be important. And then, of course, the guitar comes back in to just shred. And the drums also just do a really great job driving in that mixed meter. Very important to have good drums for an earthy track. That bass is hitting it low. And then this is the part where the theme from The Dig comes in, which he talked about in his album commentary. It's ripped straight from the game. It's a beautiful song. And it's a very interesting way to end it. Super different style. But it kind of just lets you know, though, you know, where this is an adventure that has some importance. It's such a good thing. Resolving note. The noise is all settling. Terra Pluviam is excellent. This one slots easily in the S tier. Alright, up next we have Köppen as Fuck, which is another boss theme, based in 7/4 this time. You know, a lot of songs are really like slow and epic and grandiose, but this is kind of just one that I can put on the background and jam. It's just got really great driving drums. Oh my god, so good. But then we come back into 4/4 with a bit of syncopation in the bass to keep us alive, you know, vary it up with a bit of a B section. And then this normal hi-hats start turning into quintuplet hi-hats. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's a theme that he uses in the entire album, the quintuplets. Bass section now is this really cool new guitar part. It just hits. But the bass is still laying down the classic 7/4 part. God, and then you're gonna have one measure of drum buildup. That's the only warning you get for one of the best drops in the entire soundtrack that brings back the 4/4 B section just in a whole new metal context. It's all you get, and it's so good. It's fucking insane. But then the 7/4 comes back in, you know, to accent it. With these little synth pops in the background. God, the drums just go so hard in this song. And I just want to know what Chris's hands look like playing this wild-ass synth solo. This shit is insane. Going all over that keyboard. Man. You see how he knows how to get the most out of a note? It's just wild. The guitar just screeching. By the end of the song, our main melodic lines have been so torn to shreds. My brain doesn't even know how to process this anymore. Holy shit. Oh my fucking god. But it's still such a jam. Of course, leaving us on that deep bass. Such a good way to end it. Köppen as fuck, one of the best songs in the album. Straight into S+ tier, okay? I don't want to hear anything more of it. Alright, next up we have Disdrometer. This plays on titanic plains and scorched acres. Boy, does Chris love the 7/4, which, I mean, this is great, so do I. It's definitely my favorite unconventional time signature, I guess you could say, because we got another track in 7/4. Is that just the actual, like, default metronome sound? Like, that's what it sounds like, right? It kind of, you know, acts as like a chill version of the main Risk of Rain 2 theme. Just very chill, taking it low. It's a slow burn, this one. We have this really nice synth part. 7/4 really just makes everything better. Kind of like a weird synth in the back is a very cool effect. Feels very kind of like could be an arcadey game kind of sound font. Well, this is where it definitely comes into its own. It just completely turns into its own thing at this point. This is almost a 2-minute synth solo. Oh, sing me to sleep, Chris baby. We have these reverberating sounds kind of coming in to accent the synth, and the drums are still going. It's just unbelievable how long the synth goes. And the bass is really good here. And then it falls off. And, you know, it goes on for a while, but it loses the drums, and I just feel like it doesn't really have much to say anymore. We're kind of just floating around here. You know, Absolutely my favorite ending. Still a fantastic song, Disdrometer. I'm feeling a low S for Disdrometer. Very, very good. This next one is Into the Doldrums, which plays on Rally Point Delta and Gilded Coast. And what do you know? Another song in 7/4. Very like... Okay, what is that? Okay, I know I've heard that sound before. It sounds like an Animal Well sound, which I know obviously this came out, before Animal Well, but just the wow, wow, wow. What sound is that? I know I've heard that before. But yeah, this could totally be like the intro to some sci-fi show. It's like we're exploring the alien jungle or something. We've got ourselves a great little groove before the drop. It's a little bit of a build-up. Ooh, it's such a good one. It's so moody. How can you not love the bass on this song? Ooh! God damn it, Chris. I love that guitar chord. It's so good. It's just... buttery smooth. Just a little bit of bass, right? Drums come back in. Oh, it's so good. Ooh! And then first the melody gets chokeholded by the lead synth, turning into a solo. Unbelievable. But then you got the guitar, which comes in taking its own spin. But the synth still getting the most out of every note in the background. While the, guitar just doing its thing. Oh, it's something, man. You get the drums still going nuts. Oh, and just settling down, man. Just with those, X-Files synth still just going a little bit. God damn. Whew. That, one of the album's best. Absolutely. Into the Doldrums going comfortably an S+. Love that one. And next up we have A Glacier Eventually Farts, and Don't You Listen to the Song of Life. Which, one of the best track titles of the album, clearly. It's taken directly from a Werner Herzog quote. You can listen to the whole story in the album commentary. Chris, man, only he knows how to name him like he does. Also, I love that it's explicit in Spotify. Okay. Instantly recognizable as Void Fields. Just the sound, the exact sound of being stranded in space. Like, exactly. Kind of that snapping, kind of clock sound. And that in the back. So floaty. Like that horn kind of sound. It's a very cool sound he's got going on for this one. Like that heartbeat. And I don't think I have to tell you who that is in the voiceover. It's Werner Herzog. Obviously this part wasn't going to be able to be played in game. I don't really know why he put it in the song, but I don't question his artistic vision, okay? But you can tell that it's building to something. And oh, is it building to something? The horn's coming in, except it's not dying off this time. God, that drop is just ethereal. Oh, man. Werner Herzog is back. That's like the low, kind of reverberated playback of the quote. It's very menacing. It's a pretty raw line, though.
But I love it against my better judgment.
A glacier eventually farts, and don't you listen to the Song of Life? God, that drop is really something. I'm thinking probably a middle A for this one. Okay, and next up we have Nocturnal Emission, which plays on Wetland Aspect, and just Wetland Aspect. It's got its own song, which is pretty unusual for the bass Risk of Rain 2 album. And even for this album, it's one of the most alien sounding pieces. It does have some great bass though. It's just kind of putting you on edge more than really trying to give you a good song to jam to. We got this really funky part here with the flute, and we actually got some synth melody now. It's not just atmosphere. And then the lead synth comes in for a solo. The drums kind of picking up, and we're starting to get somewhere. It still just has this super eerie sound. And gotta end it with the Risk of Rain motif. Come on, is it even a Risk of Rain piece if you're not ending it with the motif? Come on. All these very wet little drum sounds. And ending it off with that very menacing low note. Look, I mean, Welland Aspect is a very dark and murky stage, so we're gonna get a dark and murky song. That doesn't mean it isn't, one of the worst in the album. It's a good, mood piece. And again, that when the solo comes in, it's a good thing, but there's not much to get attached to, really. And then next up we have the Dehydration of Risk of Rain 2, which is an alternate menu theme that plays in Logbook, Character Selects, and various other menus. And well, it's the main menu theme. It's Risk of Rain 2, but it's just, dehydrated. It's very low key, more like Risk of Rain 2 to Study and Relax 2 kind of thing. It sounds like he's playing him in reverse this time. Like there's some weird, effects going on there. You got the moisture deficit riff, except, and it's a little differently. It's like a little somber. It's a little sad. It's like a little defeated, but edgy. I mean, it's Risk of Rain 2, right? I think it's one of the best songs in the entire game. But I like it less. It's not as powerful. It's a little darker and softer, and that's fine. I don't really know where to put it because of that. But I'm just gonna slap it right below Risk of Rain 2. Because it's still Risk of Rain 2. Alright, then next up we have Parjanya, which plays on Bazaar Between Time. And yeah, this certainly is the theme of taking a bathroom break. It's very, very calm, very, mystical. It's kind of like you're being... I mean, I don't, want to be a little on the nose, but it sounds like you're being suspended between time. A lot of reverb, synth, and just mystical sci-fi kind of thing going on. It's a wild vibe. Nothing else in the game sounds like this one. It is really something. Just the sound effects get cut off and then played. And I think my favorite part of the song, honestly, is the slow quintuplets in the background that get higher and higher before just, turning into noise. Bum, 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 bum. And then they kind of just fall away and become, musical gibberish. It's a very cool effect. It's a cool song. It does what it needs to do, but I can't really put it any higher than a B tier. I'm thinking a bit below Nocturnal Emission, if that's fair. But up next here we have Hydrophobia, which is another boss track, and it's the shortest track in the entire album that isn't the intro. And this one, as you'll hear, it is straight metal. Starts in 4/4 here, and get that little drum of hi-hats to build up. And then, you know, the drop. It is wild metal. And then we gotta switch to 7/4. Just a bit of a change up there. Now it's a bit of a groove. A little more focus on the drum than any sort of synth. But it switches back to 4/4 for the metal. It's fucking wild. But the best part is just when that roaring guitar just turns into something more melodic. The drums. God damn. I love that ending. It's so good. It's really over before you know it. Very unusual for a Christodoulou track. Hydrophobia knows not to overstay its welcome, and it's just straight metal, and I love that. I mean, that's a low S tier for me personally. Okay, and up next here is Antarctic Oscillation, which is the Sky Meadow boss track. Which 7/4 baby. And that beginning synth line is so strong and jamming. Listen to that all day. That little keyboard fall there. That way the guitar doing those little kind of off-key sounding notes. Of course, getting some wacky synth because we need it. Keyboard falling. Now you have these guitars kind of moving from left to right if you listen to it on headphones. Oh, and the synth is roaring! It's two synths harmonizing with each other, and then that, you know, repeating synth line gets really quiet and muddled, but it's still going in the background. Very faintly. And then we come back into the full-on jamming session. The guitar is just destroying. This part, bro, this part is unbelievable. It's just so triumphant. A little bit of Risk of Rain motif. Unbelievable synth. It's like a little Zelda there. I just can't believe that's an Risk of Rain 2 song. Little bit of suspension there to make it want the drop. And now some organ playing what? Or didn't know it's what we needed, but we definitely did need it. Thank you, Chris. And the synth solo really just indulging in itself. That part's so good. And then this headbang heavy kick drum part, it actually comes back way later in the video. Yeah, let's go! Let's kill some grandparents, yeah! A little Zelda, Oh, then we come back! Except this time the synth is up there, and it's just roaring, oh my god! It just evolves and grows. Come back in a third time. Such an amazing melody. And taking it down low with this very odd oscillating synth kind of taking us out. Then you have the introduction of this tambourine sound, which even though it's just playing on the, you know, downbeat of every note, sounds really kind of odd because of how just, weird the song is normally. But goddamn, Antarctic Oscillation is one of my favorites. I think that's so underrated. I absolutely love that one. Is it better than Into the Doldrums? My heart is telling me yes. I think so. Alright, now it's time for The Rain Formerly Known as Purple, which plays on Sky Meadow. But goddamn, the beginning synth, that low synth is just so addicting. And then the organ just coming in so gentle. It's just such a perfect combination. Whew. So this song is obviously a reference to Purple Rain and Prince as a whole, but it's also a spiritual successor to Chanson de Tom, which also played on the Sky Meadow track or stage in Risk of Rain 1. And that's really apparent with kind of like the sound font of the lead synth there, but also with the drums. Especially those kind of like fast ba-da-da-da-da-da drums, so taken straight from that song. Those synth chords is just such a beautiful harmony. Oh, it's so good! It's so good! Lead synth comes in, taking over. You know what that is? It's the Risk of Rain motif. The organ's playing the Risk of Rain motif, and it's a whole new context. It sounds fantastic. And then we have the most guitar-sounding guitar we get in the whole album. It's so crisp and it brings new life to the song. It makes it sound like nothing else. It's so unbelievably good. You got the kind of sound effects going off in the background. It's just layers on layers. And so Purple Rain ends on this piano ballad at the end of the song, and this song ends the same way. But you can actually hear the piano as far back as here, which kind of just blew my mind. I didn't hear it when I was playing the game. It's so beautiful and adds so much. And then this part is literally just chanson de tom, like, exactly. Kind of just establishing that layer of, Risk of Rain 1 song so that we can have the new synth line just kind of build up slowly. Kind of the Risk of Rain 2 rising past the Risk of Rain 1, becoming its completely own unique melody. Before the drop. The piano coming in really just adds so much. So satisfying. And then the guitar just tears in. Organ, you're good, but I'm sorry. You got nothing. Something about soulful guitar just really adds an element of somber importance to whatever's happening, and it captures Risk of Rain's vibe of isolation in space unbelievably well. Just a legendary guitar part. You could just listen to him forever, couldn't you? Of course, that iconic Purple Rain guitar line here to take us home. Except it's on synth this time. It's unbelievable how just well it just slides into this completely new track. That Chris doesn't say that his inspired songs are sequels or like remixes or anything like that. Rather, they're pieces that orbit around what they're paying homage to, and I just really like that idea. I really like that. We got so many different layers of the... Of course, the you know, low synth line, and the piano. Of course, the guitar taking us on a solo. Just kind of one of those songs that's so unimaginably good that it's unfair to other music. I don't even... And then this is the very Purple Rain, you know, esque ending. Kind of getting those woodwinds in the back. Light cymbal. This is just the ethereal piano. Synth. Just takes us into another world. And I think in a kind of, you know, the Dig-esque way, it kind of just all builds on this high synth note. And super climactically and, like, orchestrally, you know? The Rain, formerly known as, is fantastic. It is everything you ever want out of a song. I've listened to it 1,000 times and I'll listen to it 1,000 more. To all the people that skipped ahead in the video to this song, there you go, it's GOAT tier, in case you were wondering. In case you thought it could possibly be anything other than GOAT tier. It's unbelievable. It's amazing. And next up here we have The Raindrop That Fell to the Sky, which plays on Siren's Call and Bulwark's Amber. And it is the game's longest track at 11 minutes and 38 seconds, so we're strapped in here for the long haul. It just starts out very soft and subtle at first, right? I mean, we have 11 minutes of build-up to get through, so, you know, it's not gonna do anything crazy too early. We get some more of those quintuplets in the background. Dun, 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 dun. Re-establishing the theme of fives. Gotta love that soft guitar in the back. And then it switches from 4/4 to 5/4 with a super pleasant synth line just to set the mood. Just some guitar to back it up, give it a little bit of support. Just the perfect way to accent it. Get that drop, get some signature Christodoulou sound effects. A little bit of airiness to that guitar, right? This hit's just like, it feels almost sad. Like after like the hype and beauty that we came from, like this just, the synth almost feels like it's crying. It's such a different sound. It's not the usual type of, you know, lead kind of synth solo we would get from this album. And those quintuplets coming back, except they're even higher pitched, even harder to tell now. But then holy shit, that bass to lead us into the drop is soft and special. It just keeps going. I know, it's an amazing bass part. I love that little bam, 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 bam on the synth. Okay, bass takes a bit of a backseat, right? Just more on that guitar. God, I forget how good this song is every time I listen to it. The drums just going fucking ham as the synth just lets loose. Ooh, I love the little kind of just off-beat, off-meter kind of drum there. back in with that amazing synth drop. Except expanding on it. Just that faint backing guitar. It's just so beautiful. One of the more obvious Risk of Rain motif placements. But it's just very sing-songy this time. God, it could be a David Wise song. It's just my perfect Risk of Rain vibe song. The synth just taking us on a new kind of solo. It just comebacks in with the bass and the drums, the synth just roars. I'm telling you, he gets the most out of every note. It's so beautiful. Chris really just going nuts. Somehow even gets more grandiose and epic. I can't believe that this is just a normal stage theme. Like, this is just a stage 4, and I guess also Bolwick's Hammer. But if, I mean, any other game, this is the highlight of their entire OST, right? But this is just track number 16 on Risk of Rain 2. Easily uses the favorite uses of the Risk of Rain motif just throughout its melody. It's just so beautiful. Awesome. You know, original backing guitar loop kind of in the background, accent to this new guitar part. It kind of just gets like a little like VHS crunched there as it fades out. The guitar, it's a very different kind of effect. It is really, really one of Risk of Rain 2's best. I mean, the raindrop that fell to the sky, I think I'd be doing it a disservice by putting it anything lower than here. Unbelievable. Okay, and this next one is You're Gonna Need a Bigger Ukulele, which is the Mithrix boss theme. Very iconic opening. I think my biggest hot take for the Risk of Rain OST is that I'm not really the biggest fan of this track. I mean, it does what it needs to do very well and giving you that heavy metal opening, you know, when you immediately approach Mithrix, you know that shit is about to go down and you're gonna get fucked. It's a great moment. But it's not like I'm going out of my way to listen to this one. My favorite part of the track is just those triplets, you know, the ba-da-da-da on the drum hits. Fantastic. Like, we've had more upbeat, like, level themes, so it's kind of unusual for the final boss to be, like, kind of sad in melody. You know, obviously in instrumentation it's very intense, but it's not exactly an upbeat theme. It's also the most Risk of Rain 1 sounding song in the album, and that's because it is. It is pretty much exactly Double Fucking Rainbow from Risk of Rain 1, which is the final boss theme of that game. This, you know, part is a little different, right? It's pretty Mithrix exclusive. Kind of taking a little bit from the opening of that song and kind of evolving on it to like this little like halftime feel. But the main melody is really just Double Fucking Rainbow, like, which is, you know, very iconic theme from that first game. But and they are brothers. In my eyes, this isn't really quite orbiting, in my opinion. It just wail, doesn't it? And that meaty bass in the background, the boom, 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 that's actually going to come back way later in another boss track. But it is a good pace part in this one. Boom, 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 boom. And then one final heavy metal slam to end us off. It's not even that I dislike this song. It's great. I don't dislike it at all. It's just, I don't think I really rate it as highly as I think a lot of other people. And of course, this is A tier, which I know is, you know, relatively low on this list, but just in terms of like songs, I'm putting it top of A tier. I think that that's fair. Okay, now we have Con lentitud poderosa, which plays on commencement, the final stage of the game. And where do I even begin? This is another Rain, formerly known as esque track that orbits around something else. In this case, Coalescence from Risk of Rain 1, one of the all-time greatest video game songs. Chris is an excellent composer and sound artist, as I've said, and he knows how to add all these fancy layers and bells and whistles to his compositions, so I think it really means something when he just lets a melody speak for itself. How meaningful is it that that melody is Coalescence's melody, a theme so important to so many people, and just hearing it on just soft piano, it's just, it's unbelievable. It's the weight every note carries. That synth is almost like a music box. It's just so gentle. And that acoustic guitar just almost makes me cry every time. Holy shit. Organ in the back. I love how he uses organ in this album. It's just so special. And you know it's building up to something, right? Especially when that organ gets really loud, you know? But nothing could prepare you for that. And that cymbal. Holy shit, man. Oh my god. It transcends how that synth just rides every note. I mean, this synth part should be studied. It's unbelievable. Brings Coalescence into this completely new meaning. What? I just need this played on a massive church organ. Oh my god! Just the guitar wailing in the right ear. I've just never felt so important listening to a piece of music. Favorite part of the synth solo right there is that. God, the drums are just so amazing right there. Just gets so soft. It's like playing that original 2013 coalescent synth part back at the end. It's just like, look at how far we've come. Just the soft coalescence melody ringing through. You did it, Chris. You somehow made a better song than Coalescence. Con Lentitud Poderosa is the best song in Risk of Rain 2. I don't even know how you could approach that sheer awe in any other song. Good work, Chris. Good work. And to give us a break from that, we have Petrichor V, which plays on A Moment Fractured and A Moment Whole. I think the most apt thing I could say about it is that it sounds like something that would play either at the end or the beginning of 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's quite the choice to go for a nearly 12-minute ambient track for a song that most people are hardly ever going to hear. You know, you can only get here by choosing to sacrifice yourself in the obelisk on a looped run, right? Or get this really weird lore route with the beads. So it's gonna be like knowingly an obscure track, and they put a lot of care into it. I haven't been going over all the track names because Chris goes in depth in his album commentary, but this one is definitely my favorite. I didn't even know that Petrichor V wasn't the planet's official name until watching that video. The fans started calling the planet Petrichor V because the title of this song sounds like something that NASA would name an exoplanet. The whole story is in the album commentary, but that made the song feel so much more special. Just different parts of the community on the creation end and the experiencing end just coming together to do something that matters, right? I can't even think of the amount of people that have actually listened to this song in full. I mean, who's actually stayed on A Moment Fractured or A Moment Whole for 12 minutes? It's almost entirely just moody ambiance and just this kind of low synth that you're hearing right now. It's not even really much of a song, but it works. It does what it needs to do. Kind of that beautiful little synth line right there, kind of breaking through. Right? It sounds like something that you would that'd be playing in the background as you're looking up at a planetarium. And this is the asteroid belt that separates Mars and Jupiter. Or what would be playing in, a realistic kind of astronaut movie where the astronaut's looking out in their space window at the vastness of space. This is kind of just going as they see Earth getting smaller and smaller. It's a very distinct mood. You know what that is? It's the fucking Risk of Rain motif, baby. We do get this really beautiful acoustic guitar at the end. I would have really loved to have a whole song of this. And obviously this, glitching sound of theirs is terrifying. Petrichor V, I understand it's a very special song. But as it's not really much of a song, I think I'd rather listen to it than Parjanya. But they're all kind of in that same sci-fi ambiance kind of space. Okay, and this is Lacrimosum, the last song on the album, which plays at the end credits of the game, fittingly. And of course it starts with rain. I swear, Chris likes using the whole rain thing in his work more than the makers of the damn game. I think he heard that it was called A Risk of Rain and jumped for joy. So we got this thunderstorm atmosphere going on to start us off. I mean, like, so many of his track titles have to do with rain or water or ocean. He just loves using it. And you know, that kind of like wet, reverberating synth that we first hear in the very intro, right? The beginning comes back very fittingly. You know, before turning into an acoustic rendition of Con lentitud poderosa, which, if you're gonna bring a song back, I mean, come on. What are you gonna do? Or I guess, no, less of a rendition, more just bring the acoustic guitar part over here. And that timpani roll really makes you feel like there's gonna be a huge drop like the original. But it's way more subdued. And obviously this is the part that plays when you fly off into the distance, right? Get the low character line. With the, you know, distant synth playing the coalescence melody. I just think it's so cool. Or the last track of the album has this kind of like finalistic piece, but with, you know, the sound effects of the first track. And then obviously it ended with the Risk of Rain motif at the end there, just to really signal that we are done here. We have reached the end of the story. Lacrimosum is amazing, you know, because Con lentitud poderosa is amazing, but it's not quite like Risk of Rain 2 and the Dehydration of Risk of Rain 2, where I feel like I can just put them right next to each other. This is much shorter. It doesn't have the same gravitas and emotional weight behind it. It's pretty cool. But at the end of the day, it's pretty chill, and like a quarter of it is like rain sound effects. So, I don't know. A tier. Sure. Right there seems good. Okay. Well, now we're on to Survivors of the Void, the first DLC expansion, which of course Chris Christodoulou also did the music for. And up first here is Prelude in D-flat major, which plays in the Simulacrum menu. And it's not even composed by Chris Christodoulou. It's a fucking Chopin piece. I have no idea where to put this. You know, it's very cool whenever we get acoustic piano in Risk of Rain 2. It's definitely a tone-setting track, right? It's not like something that we've heard in the game before, because it's classical music, which will, as you will hear, very much contrast the rest of the album, which is super angsty and, well, you know, void. But we do have the, you know, kind of like, wow, synth in the back. It's not like it's just someone playing Chopin. We got some Risk of Rain 2 sound font stuff in there. It kind of ends a little like on edge here, right? A little mysterious. And, I mean, it's a pretty piece, and just for the sole fact that I can't put Chopin in B tier, I guess, you know, bottom of A. There you go. And up next is A Placid Island of Ignorance, which is used on Void Locus and the Planetarium. I knew this played on Void Locus, but I honestly didn't know that it also plays before you fight Voidling, until doing this video. That is a very important motif that we just won't really get to see realized for a while. But the ba-ba-da is very important. Very kind of moody. Great drum feature. And I think we're in 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like some Geometry Dash dubstep style sounds in the background. It's wild. It's kind of like a soft and chill kind of groove. Yeah, this ethereal part, right? Sounds like we're in the bazaar again. Before coming right back in with those drums. So, yeah, this kind of this nuisance part. Oh, and now it turns into the main melody of the piece. Now, to really come into its own with the drums now being backed up by this actual synth melody and everything. A little bit of variation. It's really kind of building. Taking a half step up every time. It gets really into its own with this great groove here. Kind of settling down with this kind of like intense noise that very quickly fades out to not destroy your ears. Very solid track, A Placid Island of Ignorance. I think this one's going to slide in right about here. I think is a fitting spot. Okay, next in the album is Having Fallen It Was Blood, which is the new DLC boss theme, and clearly the best part about it is that bass line. It is just so grimy. Oh. And then the synth comes in, just showing the main melody. Right, it's a very new tone for this album, right? We are being as evil as possible. We want to be demonic here. You got that clapping sound? That kind of like reverberates. It didn't happen there. Looked a little foolish. It's alright. Get us back into the jam with the drums really coming full force and that dissonant organ, oh my god, really putting you on edge. God, that drop is so good. And then that guitar to tear into your soul. It's a great guitar line. It's a very interesting part to put in there, but it works so well. And then, and that bass just. Oh, just leaves you know that there's some malevolent shit going down in this one. Having Fallen It Was Blood going right above Hydrophobia. An excellent S tier. Okay, now we have Out of Whose Womb Came the Ice, which plays on Siphon Forest. And it sort of acts as an edgy version of Into the Doldrums, which also happens to play on the other snowy stage in this game. Keyboard just... a little bit of soft echo. Which Into the Doldrums is great. Love that acoustic guitar. bass just coming in hot. Now it's the synth playing that part. The pa-doom on the drums just really helps. It almost sounds like a haunted mansion with that part. Nice synth coming from the right, and that's coming from the left. Drums, just God, loving every minute of it. Happen to rely on just really helps with like grooving with it and getting attached to the rhythm. Because otherwise, it's a really complicated kind of jam. It's really kind of nutty guitar part here. The last thing I expected was coalescence, but there we were. Ba-dum, ba-dum. But hey, I'm not gonna complain. God, really, really strong track. Out of Whose Womb Came the Ice is gonna go right up there. High S tier for Out of Whose Womb Came the Ice. Fantastic song. Okay, and up next is Once in a Lullaby, which plays on Aphelion Sanctuary. I think immediately you can just tell if there's something different about this track. It's just... I think it thinks it is more important than every other track in this game. It just kind of has that kind of vibe, right? Very like arcadey kind of. Almost sounds like your character exploded in Space Invaders, you know what I mean? And then this is really what makes the track special. That English horn. It just makes it instantly feel like nothing we've ever heard in Risk of Rain before. It's just so serene and graceful. Just taking us through this melody. And then it gets picked up by the oboe. Just to take us up an octave. It's such a beautiful part. Guitar becomes the feature. Dun, 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 dun. Ba-dun, da-dun, ba-dun, da-dun. Of course it ends on Risk of Rain. Of course it ends on Risk of Rain. Because you can fit that motif in literally any song in any style, anyway. And then the signature Risk of Rain soulful lead guitar just takes over. Bass just keeping it down, laying the law. And that bass riff especially is so good. You got the violins coming in. To harmonize with the guitar, oh my god. Jesus Christ. And now the violins play the Risk of Rain motif there. It's just so beautiful. then this unbelievable lead synth part. But you still got the guitar going. Just wailing. It's like this beautiful orchestra. It's unbelievable that this is just a normal stage theme. I think I've said that about a few stage themes. Seriously, bro, it's a stage 2! And then this big finish! Before taking it low, with the acoustic guitars on the far sides of both ears. With the synth still playing the melody. Just makes this really cool effect. And then everything else falls away. We're just left with the oboe, softly singing the end of the song. I just love that he got, you know, actual oboe and English horn to just come in and just, you know, just play their craft. Just really add something. It's just such a special piece. I love it so, so much. It goes right up there in GOAT tier. Absolutely. Once in a Lullaby, one of Risk of Rain 2's absolute best. And now we have A Boat Made from a Sheet of Newspaper, which is the boss track of Sulphur Pools. And that is some Darren Korb sounding guitar right there, man. God damn, just... Right? Like, this is totally a Hades boss fight. Absolutely. With even the parts, even the measures where the guitar takes a break and lets the drum take over, like... Damn, that is just so strong right out the gate. And the drums take a back seat and just... they come back right now. But the guitar really is the main part now. We got some really video game synth there. Somehow they fit the rain formerly known as purple in there. In this backing synth. I have no idea how. But it just adds so much. I just love that. It's so good. And just the most unhinged synth solo. Just sounds like some classic rock right there. Gets the most out of every note, man. Like, what is even fucking happening anymore? Screeching away on that synth. As the guitar is, you know, still going at a certainly strong part. Great ending. Love that solo ending. And then you get the rain formerly known as purple synth really popping out at the end. It's so weird to put it in there. But it works. I love it. This song is so fucking good, man. Top of S. Top of S. Love it. Okay, and this next song is They Might As Well Be Dead, which plays on Sundered Grove. You can tell it's a very different vibe from the rest of the game. That droning sound. That classic wind chime. And that percussion, that, I don't know, djembe or Turkish drum kind of thing going on. I'm not entirely sure, but Either way, it feels like I'm in the jungle, tripping on mushrooms, doing some chant. The bass comes in, right? Just adding a little more texture to the song. Before the guitar comes in, and Chris uses it in a way that we've never used. He's never used it before. It creates such this atmosphere. It's somehow accents this completely chill and calm vibe. Just perfectly. How can you not love this guitar part? It's such a vibe. Oh, so great. And holy shit, is that the Baklama? No way! That one's for you, Chris. This, like, super sci-fi synth loop should feel really out of place here, but it just kind of works. It kind of just builds. It's just normal. But, you know, this part that's coming up is definitely what people most know the song for. And it is the single best guitar solo in this entire game. It is unbelievable. The drums just come in, and it's just such a driving force. So good. Especially this build up into the key change. Oh my god! And I love these accents that the drum uses to help out the guitar. Holy shit, I eat those up. Oh my... And he just takes it higher. He just somehow takes it higher. And then he just leaves you. He just leaves you like that, flat on your ass. Just draws out like that, and we're back in the jungle. Fucking hell, Chris. They might as well be dead. You're a fan favorite. And for good reason, get right up there at the top of S+. Holy shit, man. Holy fucking shit. Alright, and this next one is The Face of the Deep, which is the Voidling boss track. I feel like it's just a running joke about how cool everything to do with Voidling is, except for the boss itself. Like, this song just kicks so much ass. Oh yeah, we're getting this metal drum part. God damn, so much force behind that. Into the most light on your feet alien 5/4 ass synth part known to man. There were no fucks given in the process of making this track, let me just assure you of that. You got the kind of like raindrops falling down on the synth part. It's very video gamey NES kind of sounds bubbling out through the back. But this song is especially important to me because even though I know I like play melodica and stuff, I am at heart I'm a sax player. Okay, I always have been. Love playing sax. It's just my main instrument, and well, this sax part is just so fucking insane. I love it. They have this heavy metal guitar shred ass. Oh my god. actually fighting this boss and like hopping through dimensions while this fucking song in the background, it is an otherworldly experience. Oh, he kills it, bro. It's Dimitri Sakis on the sax, and he just fucking kills it. Oh my god, I love this guy already. And then of course Chris coming in to, you know, do whatever the hell, just whatever the fuck, right? Just whatever the fuck. God damn. And then you just get a, you know, the only way you can do a sax solo in Risk of Rain 2. Right, and then everything just fades out, and all we're left with is some of the cleanest ass sax I've ever heard. It just keeps roaring on this nutty solo. Oh, we're getting a little bit of energy back. Heavy cymbal, right? Yeah. Right, the synth comes in. We're getting back to our normal routine. Right? Okay, we're done. The song is dying down, right? You know, you think you're safe, right? Like, this is normal, we're chill, we're dying down. You know, you think you're safe. Well, then the fucking choir comes in, and it's like the earth itself is being ripped apart. As the... the choir just... It's a little on the nose, but goddamn, if it won't just make everything cooler. Oh, just the most metal sounding end to the most metal song. Oh my god, the face, the deep. Holy fucking shit. What a goddamn song. That is going right here in the middle of S+. Holy! God, what a song. It's hard to, you know, move on after listening to that one, but we got one more song in Survivors of the Void, and that is Who Can Fathom the Soundless Depths, which plays on sulfur pools. Fucking sulfur pools. Why does this feel like the title screen to a horror game? It's so... I feel like I'm getting watched. Really just moody and down in the depths. But we got a little bit of, you know, light synth to give us some levity. Still feels like a horror game though. Now we're getting some layers, right? Super fitting synth lines. Even the Risk of Rain motif is in the wind chimes. Why not? The drum comes in really slow. That drop. Really hard-hitting synth this time now, right? Really in your face. Ooh, that one just hit in a certain kind of special way. The little video gamey synth, right? Kind of fluttering. Alright. And I do love me a good bass solo. Now we're starting to feel a little more classical, right? Like, clearly. Oh, that drop! It's just so moody. God. And that bass. It's fantastic. You know, this song is, you know, I said it felt really classical, right? With the ba-da-da-da-da. That's because it is also a Chopin piece, right? And you can definitely start telling that now as we get the acoustic piano back in. But Chris did so much more with it in this one than that first track, right? Like, the way he built on it is just, it's astounding, really. Just turned it into something completely new on its own. Beautiful last chord. Unfortunately, my least favorite stage in the game is fantastic music. Fuck. Who Can Fathom the Soundless Depths is bottom of the list here. It is amazing. Okay, now we're in the home stretch. Final DLC, Seekers of the Storm, and we're starting with the tempestuous noise of thunder and lightning heard. Which is the Verdant Falls boss track, and it is easily my favorite opening to an album. Chris brought in a new guy, George Karianis, to play the lead guitar, and we're going to be hearing a lot of George this album. He is phenomenal, including in this song. We got a 5/4 jam. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and... Oh, George just kicks so much ass. I love when they just start out swinging with this metal. But take a love for some synth builds. And the little flourishes on the guitar. Oh, it's so good. Just slowly building, right? And starting when the drums come in, this is one of the best builds in all of Risk of Rain 2. Easily. And the guitar's just, oh, it's going crazy. It's going wild. And we get some more drums, starting building. The guitar's just going nuts. We got more build. How is this how the album starts? Risk of Rain motif. Kind of a whole part based on the Risk of Rain motif. George comes back in. Bringing him in was just such a fantastic choice. Oh, he brings new life to it. Holy shit. I mean, again, I can't believe that that's how we start the album, right? Like, where could we possibly go from there? Such a strong opening. I'm going to be putting it right above Into the Doldrums in S+. Very, very nice tempestuous noise of thunder and lightning heard. Fantastic. Okay, and next up here is O Mani Padme Hum Part 1. We're going to be seeing 3 parts of O Mani Padme Hum. This is the first. This is the False Sun boss track, the final boss of the DLC. And this starting synth is actually the bass at the beginning of Having Fallen to His Blood. Just coming right in swinging. Oh, it's such a good riff. And we actually have some 3/4. Not often you see that in Risk of Rain 2, but I know this song is very waltzy. Alright, let's try and contain ourselves. There's that motif from Placid Island of Ignorance I told you would come back. And holy shit does it come back. God damn. Don't you just... Fuck, don't you just want to kill God? Holy shit. We gotta take it down a bit. And there's that drone from the Might As Well Be Dead. Holy fuck, bro. Oh my god, and the synth comes in to add a little flavor, and the drums are just going fucking nuts. I just love that break in between just the wails. The God, and that fall to get us back into the A section. It's just amps you up so unbelievably well. And I wasn't joking, it does actually get waltzy. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Honestly, just a really nice groove here, right? Those little sci-fi synths going off. Just getting some swing in the drums. It's a great part. But, I swear I see the face of God every time I hear that drop. Holy shit! Oh my god! It's unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable. And just like the offbeat drums, just every single hit is powerful. And Chris is going fucking nuts on the synth. Oh my god! And remember I said the headbang part in Antarctic Oscillation would come back? Well, here we are! Remember I said the meaty bass from Mithrix's theme would come back? It's all front and center now. Oh my god. This song is an amalgamation of a bunch of really great parts from a bunch of really great songs. With the best lead synth in Risk of Rain 2's entire soundtrack. And that is saying something. Incredible work. Chris Christodoulou, incredible work. This goes right up here in GOAT tier. Unbelievable. When I first heard this song, I was just speechless. But I didn't really need to say that, right? You heard the fucking song. And this next one is Yane No Mori, which plays on Hellman Tatchery, the alternate Stage 5 that was introduced in this DLC. If the other song was a Chris feature, then this one is a George feature. But not yet, though, alright? First, we have to have some groovy synth. Just some low, chill drums. And the bass. Oh, just picking it up. And those drums we hear in the right ear, or not drums, guitar that we hear in the right ear. It's an amazing synth part. That little high synth riff, it just adds so much character. I love that part. But we take it down real low. And this? We hear those wind chime sounds a lot in Whisker Vein 2, but Yane No Mori uses it in my favorite way. It's like the main melody that we don't hear quite yet is being whispered through the wind before it's actually played. It's really, really very cool. Until the guitar hits it. Oh, it's ethereal. God, it just resonates with your entire soul. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, 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 ba-dum. Oh. Oh. With some echo. With the drum pickup into the full solo. Oh my god! It's just so amazing. If you don't have your air guitar out by this point, then you have no soul. I'm sorry. Oh my! It speaks for itself. I don't even need to say. I don't even say anything. The choir in the background, giving each note so much more weight. I don't know how much of this was written and how much of it was just improvisation. I love every second of it. I don't care. It's amazing. And just whenever the choir just resonates on a note, oh my god, it's this amazing experience. And then you hear the wind chimes one final time playing a melody that now we know of so well. Whew. The guitar just feels like the most important instrument in the world whenever it's playing this song. I don't know what else to say. This is going right up there in S+. Oh, I could just listen to that one forever. Okay, and up next we have Tlālōcān, which is the Helman Patchery boss track. And just right away, that beginning synth riff is so good. And some more of the Might As Well Be Dead drone. Oh, it's just so, like, mysterious and epic. But the drums in this song are just so fucking insane. Yes! Get into it! Like that, like, kind of like Persona style synth going on there. Oh, it's wild. It's wild. Great instrumentation on this one. The beat part is just so weird. I really like it, but it is. Come on, it's weird. I think we've really just seen Chris evolve so much as an artist, become so much more like experimental and comfortable in his own skin. Right throughout these albums, every song is just a hit now. That's just some evil-ass demon guitar. Doing some wild Castlevania solo going on here. Right, like what's even going on anymore? And then, you know, taking it down. Because why not, right? Now we're like calm and ethereal. We got some UFO-ass sounds now. How do you not love that bass? You can actually hear Oh Mani Padme Hum Part 1 in the background here. It just does its own thing, right? Like with this just lovely, just bass feature. It's surprisingly calm for a large part of the song, you know, for a boss track. But I think that's what Chris means when he says that he tries to focus on making good music and not good video game music. You know, one kind of is the other, but it means you don't have to adhere to any, like, rules, for lack of a better word. And then it just kind of fades out and blips out, right? Usually on those boss tracks, it, you know, would have a chill part and then it would come back, but nope. It's just how it is. Tlālōcān is great. Top of A tier for me, I think is a pretty safe spot to put it. And next up here is O Mani Padme Hum Part 2, which plays on Treeborn Colony and is yet another 7/4 groove. And, you know, you hear that motif from a Placid Island of Ignorance come back, like it does in all the O Mani Padme Hum songs. And it just has fantastic bass and drums. I mean, everything about this song is fantastic, but we'll get to that in a bit. It's just such a good groove. Kind of like some, like, off-key little, like, you know, jazzy synth, but we'll see how that gets evolved later. I get that kind of Turkish drum noise from They Might As Well Be Dead back. And then the guitar comes in, singing the Placid Island of Ignorance motif. So now it's mashed with O Mani Padme Hum Part 1. Oh, it's so unbelievably good. And we have this keyboard solo who was done by who I assume is Chris Christodoulou's brother, Kostas Christodoulou. Who was actually a pretty well-known jazz musician in Greece, which I thought was pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, obviously the solo is fantastic. And yeah, of course Risk of Rain needed more jazz, was that even a question? Really just giving us a sound we've never heard before. I love when all the instruments stop. Oh, it's so good. And then the build-up. And that coin noise. I don't know why I love that so much. And of course, the breathtaking guitar from George. The O Mani Padme Hum Part 1. Oh my god. And this part. This song's great for 1,000 reasons, but that part is easily my favorite. God. Just whenever the synth just comes in, it just makes the guitar feel so much better. Just getting higher and higher and building and building. And now it's just at its complete peak, right? Just so fucking insane, just going wailing. And coin noise comes back. It somehow manages to be a part 2 and also do its own thing and also be completely fucking amazing. Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah. I think Mani Padme Hum Part 2 sits comfortably at the tippity top of S+ tier. Amazing job. Okay, and to take a break from that is a very different song. I Should Build the Mana Statue, which plays on Shattered Abodes. It's actually the only song in all of Risk of Rain 2 that Chris did not write or arrange, instead being done by Stavros Marconis. You start out, you have no idea where it's going to go, right? You definitely can't tell where it's going to go by this opening. Kind of sounds like it'd be Mani Padme Hum Part 3. It's very loose and floaty, right? Could easily be Chris doing this kind of atmosphere. But that is definitely not Chris Christodoulou. This song does have the honor of having my favorite bass line in all of the DLC. It's so dirty and gross. I can feel it in my brain. And that pause in between every, measure where everything just stops, except for the wind in the back, and then it picks back up with the bass. Oh, it just gives it so much more weight. Yeah. Did I get the synth in? What? I could listen to that bass forever. Ooh, just a little bit of light synth, right? And then the bass leaves us for a bit, which does make the song, lose its edge a bit, right? It feels a little flat, but it's all on purpose. It's just to lead you into a false sense of security for, that evil guitar. And that wah adds so much to the phrase. Oh, it's so good. But that main melody is definitely my least favorite part of the song. It's no Chris melody, alright? Let's just say that. But thankfully, we still have that strong bass line holding down the fort. Some extra synth to harmonize. God, just again, more of that Turkish drum, but this time it's going fucking nuts! Can't believe this isn't a feature, it's just in the back. God, and even Marconis gets in on that Placid Island of Ignorance motif. And are those the Yane No Mori wind chimes, you sly bastard? Oh. I don't know how much of that was Chris in post, or that's all him, I don't know. But I like it. I do really like I Should Build the Mana Statue. But I don't think it's quite stronger than You're Gonna Need a Bigger Ukulele. I think it's right about there, is where I'd put it. Okay, and this is Forgot the Cry of Gulls, which is the Reformed Altar boss track. Kind of feels like we're taking it back to a classic Risk of Rain 2 boss theme with this one, right? We've done a lot of wacky stuff these past 2 DLCs, but this one kind of just gets you right into that, synth-focused metal. It's just a easy-to-grasp jam. Ooh, a guitar chord, right? These kind of reverby synths. Full in swinging. Ooh, heavy on the kick drum, right? Oh, every drum hit has so much weight. I love these little synth notes that just bounce around your headphones going from one side to the other. The guitar on this nice melody. And then that main descending riff that they do is my favorite part of the whole song. But the guitar takes it into a new key for us. There's the descending riff again. I love it. It's so good. It's like the guitar's going nuts, but it's just really quiet. By now you can tell that we're building, right? With the drum on the hi-hats, and then they do the to send us into the drop. Now the guitar's doing the descending riff, and I have absolutely no idea what effect that is, but I don't think he does it in the rest of the album. It's very cool. Just in case you thought we needed it, here's a little George shred. Just a few times playing the main descending riff to end us off. Wouldn't want to end it any other way. Forgot the Cry of Gulls. I mean, I said it was like a classic boss track. I think it has itself right with Hydrophobia, maybe even a little higher, dare I say it. It's a very, very good song. Okay, then up next is our final Mani Padme Hum track. Mani Padme Hum Part 3. Which plays on reformed altar normally. The instrumentation in this song is, I think, its strong suit. It is very, very cool. Of course, the Placid Island of Ignorance. And I love that, like, that bass sound. That's what I'm talking about, the instrumentation. Some flute to play the Placid Island of Ignorance. You hear what I mean with the bass riff here? And that is just the Minecraft experience noise, right? Like I'm not hallucinating. That's exactly what that is. Right? The drums are so great here. Just a little bit of synth and flute feature to get us into, you know. Ooh, such a great atmosphere. It feels like we're in the jungle mines. And I love, I don't know what instrument or what kind of bass is going on there, but the wah 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 wah. That's my favorite part. I love it so much. And of course it gets a feature here because it needs it. And you know, a common theme of this album is that George just always comes in roaring. I always just forget how insane this solo is. Damn, he shreds. Oh, it's unbelievable. And he just takes as much time as he needs on this one, man. It just fades out on that note, man. He just goes. It ends in a very similar way to They Might As Well Be Dead, right? With just the little percussion and the soft fade out. And it makes sense, right? Like, you have that monumental, larger-than-life solo. How else would you end it, right? You just let the listener sit with what they've just heard. And you even have the drone to prove my point even more. Mani Padme Hum Part 3, I think, is going to be a high S from me. The tippity top of S. Alright, and this is The Song of Life. don't think that actually plays in-game, as far as I know. I think it's just more of a brought life into the world flex from Chris. But it is very cool that in the first album we got the song, A Glacier Eventually Farts and Don't You Listen to the Song of Life. And then in this one, now we have the Song of Life. And I think it's pretty cool that the Song of Life ended up being Baby Babble. So, good on you, Chris. You know what? Let's just, I'm making Baby Tier. There you go. Have fun in Baby Tier. Okay. Our final song of the night. Oh my god. I don't know if you've seen the natural light change, right? I've been sitting here for hours. It Can't Rain All the Time. What an amazing last track name. And this plays on Verdant Falls. You could kind of see it as a mellow version of Mani Padme Hum Part 1, since it's also in 3/4 and has the signature Placid Island of Ignorance melody. Right here. Just kind of a chill groove, right? Some more Might As Well Be Dead percussion. And I kind of like... It sounds like two rocks being grated against each other. Like, very softly. And then some drums, right? Guitar to really get into it. The synth playing the Placid Island of Ignorance pretty straight right now. But we do get some variation in that melody here. It's a very cool part. And then we get really mysterious here. By this part, it really branches off. The lead synth's just having its own fun time. It's kind of just a bit of a chill jam. Love that part of the solo. It's a very distinct kind of sound. And then the song just ends with these little bouncy noises alternating between each headphones and fading out for over a minute. Like, actually nothing else happens in the song. Bit anticlimactic. Mr. Christodoulou, I'm not gonna lie to you. Might order that album a little different if it were up to me, but hey, you're the musical genius here, right? I'll just check you up. Vibe-wise, it's like if They Might As Well Be Dead didn't have that iconic guitar solo at the end. Which I think places it right about here. It's a good song. I took 17 pages of notes on the Risk of Rain 2 OST for this video. I wrote 4 times as many words than any script I've ever published. Couldn't have made your songs just a little simpler there, Chris, could you? But I did end up getting through it, and this is my complete list. Obviously, it is objectively true. That should go without saying. And I did make this myself. There was no tier list just out there already. So if you want it, it'll be in the description. Please make your own. But the main takeaway from this video wasn't supposed to be that Lentitud Poderosa is the best and Through a Cloud Darkly is the worst, because that isn't even really... It's not even really fair to compare those two songs. It's just... The main takeaway was that Risk of Rain 2 has a fucking amazing soundtrack, and Chris Christodoulou should be incredibly proud. And George Karianis should be proud, and anyone else who's worked on any of the albums should be incredibly, incredibly proud. The music is fantastic, and I listen to it all the time. Video game music is real music, of course. That should go without saying. And I'm gonna get some fucking sleep. Good night.
No.